welcome to another episode of Catching Up. I'm your host, Lauren Kalil. Our show is brought to you by Reebok. The Nano X2, the official shoe of CrossFit, was created with the training community front and center, gathering feedback from its athlete partners, local gyms, fitness influencers, and more to create a product that all athletes can thrive in. The white gum bottom, they are my favorite, a perfect fresh new summer shoe. Make sure to check out the description. We have a link there to get your hands on a pair. On today's episode, we have the fittest man in Australia, Jay Crouch, as he gets ready for the games. How are you feeling right now, Jay?
Yeah, feeling lots better now that we're 3 days into being, or 3 or 4 days being at LA. So it's been good.
What is the transition like when you think about the environment, the weather, getting on a whole different sleep schedule and the routine of it all?
Yeah, I mean, if you allow yourself enough time, the biggest thing is because we're in winter right now at home, so it's adjusting to the heat, and then I think it's like 17-hour difference. So you give yourself and not stress yourself out for like 2 days and trust that the sleep's going to get better. And so now I'm feeling pretty good.
So when you arrive in LA, do you try to just like stay up as long as possible to get on the right schedule to almost like play catch up?
Yeah, definitely. Like we had a pretty good flight this time. I'm usually there early in the morning, but this time we had a flight. I think it was at 2 p.m. in the afternoon for us, and then we landed at 12 p.m. in LA. So it wasn't too bad to stay up for that 8 to 10 hours.
Oh my gosh. What do you do during that time? Do you have like a routine or little ritual that you do at this point?
Not so much. Just get some food and just get ready for it all. Maybe some melatonin to get you to sleep. But yeah.
So then when are you going to head to Madison from Los Angeles?
We head there tomorrow. So I've been here about 6 days.
Okay. Are you pumped? Are you ready? Do you have everything in order?
Yeah, definitely. The first day of training was pretty tough, but second, third, and fourth feels back to normal.
So what is it like training for a semifinals and then trying to switch gears and train for the games? How has it been different the past couple of weeks, even months?
Training wise, yeah, more higher skill stuff that you're going to see at the games. And then little bit more volume, but more mentally and sort of it's a whole different game really compared to semi-finals. Being like almost double the amount of events and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, mentally expecting that, and yeah, just just rolling with the roller coaster of emotions.
Do you prefer semifinal training or games training?
Um, yeah, that's a good question. I feel like I like semi-finals because it's just this year it was 2 events each day. It was pretty cruisy, but no, games training. The crew that we have has been good. Like everyone jumping in, making it easier, and it is a lot more fun. All the higher skill stuff for sure.
So obviously the semifinal, it went, I mean, as good as it really could have gone. You stood at the top of the podium at the Torian Pro. I think it's interesting because we talk about the Oceania semifinal all the time, how there's only 3 spots on the line, but it's so competitive. And even adding like Ricky Gerard back into the mix, I'm sure that that obviously played a part. It ultimately did on who got those games tickets. What were some of those like thoughts that you had leading into the semifinal? Did having like another potential like games contender add to your mindset or even how you were training leading up to it?
Yeah, definitely, and everyone knows like it's so stacked. So like those 3 spots could have potentially gone to 5 guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely. But you suppose you gotta do your own thing, run your own race, trust your fitness, and that's what I did. I was confident that I could get one of those spots, and ultimately I got the win. So it was a good result.
Last year at the games, you finished 22nd. You were able to do 10 of the 15 events before the field started to get whittled down and it was cut. This year, all of the athletes, they will be able to participate in all events up to Saturday with the field cut from 40 to 30 on Sunday. What are your thoughts on like the changing in the cuts? What are your thoughts on last year and like just overall?
Yeah, on the cuts, I think it's really good because I think last year when they cut to the 30, was it after Friday maybe? I feel
Yep,
like
Friday and then Saturday.
yeah, a lot of the guys were sort of either injured or on their way out anyway. That back 10,
Hmm.
so if cutting to 30 on that Saturday night's pretty perfect. And then it gives that next 30 to that chance. A lot can happen in a day. So like gives you that chance to get maybe into that if you're in the bottom 10 to get back into that half. So I think the cuts they've nailed that this year like very well. And then what was the other question? Sorry.
No, so you like the cuts this year more than last year?
Definitely, yeah, definitely. I think they got it right this year. That's for sure.
So do you think like since they did get it right this year that having like the little bit of extra opportunity for athletes might show some different like variables in what we see on the final day with who places where?
Definitely, yeah. And I mean, even having more depth in the field, like you know, that if you don't do as well in an event as you thought, you're gonna get punished for that. It's gonna hit a bit harder. So, and the other way around. Um, so yeah, I think it's really good.
Well, and especially with the men's field, we've been talking about it all season. It is so stacked. It's incredible to see some of these athletes that even when you look at whoever gets first through 20, there's so many people that we could interchange because the talent is just so extensive. Is there a specific goal for you to move up on the leaderboard from placements yesterday or last year? Or do you use some other types of metrics to define your success at the games since it's hard to predict, other people's fitness?
Yeah, I mean, and this year, like with all the sort of COVID stuff that we dealt with, traveling internationally last year, I couldn't have my coach here, my family, all that sort of stuff.
Mhm.
That's going to play a big part, I feel, in my performance this year. Um, and then, yeah, where was I going with it? What was the question?
Yeah. So, I mean, when people define success, especially at the games, everybody wants to move up on the
Oh,
leaderboard from year to year.
yeah,
But is that like how you're going to define your success at the games if you move up, or are there other things you look at?
yeah, it was something that we sort of played with at semifinals too. Was like sort of not focusing on a placing. And if a workout's going to be good for me because it can turn in any second about whatever you're doing. So yeah, I don't really focus too much on a placing, just take an
Mhm.
event by event, and feel like that will just come.
So then who's your crew that's coming with you this year now that like the restrictions have loosened a bit?
I have my brother and my coach Rob, and
What is
then
that dynamic going to be like?
yeah, it's been good so far. um that's for sure. Just having someone just to tell you what to do, to have your food dialed, even though I don't really want to eat, makes me eat. And yeah, having training partners, all that sort of stuff. And then I'm gonna have my mum and dad be there as well, meet us in Madison. So that's gonna be really cool.
Oh my gosh. Have they ever been to Madison before?
Yeah, they have when I was on a team in 2017.
The whole crew is coming back, getting together. What is your like when you think about you're leaving for Madison in a couple of days, you'll have a bit of time to wind down, relax, get in order. What is the one thing that you just can't wait to get back on the field to do once you get to Madison and competition starts?
Oh, that's a good question. Uh, I don't know, just show what I can really do. I feel like I'm gonna be a lot more dialed in this year. So I'm excited just to show what I can do.
Is there anything that you're thinking of from last year that you're like, "Man, like I want to prove to people that I've gotten better at this?"
Yeah, definitely. I'd say just I just feel I'm in a whole different spot. I feel like movement wise, I feel like machines I've improved a lot more on. So I can show a lot more. And yeah, just overall, like having my team with me, it's just going to be really good.
So we've seen a couple of hints from CrossFit. We know that on Saturday there's going to be a heavy lift.
Yeah.
What does Jay Crouch want to see?
Or I think I'd like to see, if it's like an Olympic lift, I think I'd like to see a clean. Even a clean and jerk would be good. But if I could choose any lift, maybe like a back squat or something like that, that'd be cool.
Ooh, that's what I would love to see
Yeah.
too. That would be so fun. They've never done it at the games, or I don't think so, at least.
Yeah, not
Well,
that I.
unless like they're doing a total, but
Yeah,
just like
yeah,
for a one lift.
yeah. Maybe just a back squat straight off the bat.
Just one or like a 10 RM, a
Ooh,
20 RM, I don't know.
that hurt. Maybe like 5 max.
5 max. Okay, that would be fun. Is there anything that you don't wanna see when it comes to the lift on Saturday?
Or maybe like an overhead squat or something like that.
Well, I've seen videos of your overhead squat, they look good.
Yeah, too bad.
You're like, "Oh, it doesn't matter, I don't wanna see that one." What about your thoughts on we saw that the teams are gonna use bikes. Obviously, being
Oh,
on a team before, what what is going on with the teams right now when they're trying to prepare and figure out, like, how they can be as prepared as possible?
yeah, I mean, like the bike stuff looks fun. Like I wish we did that back when we were on a team. But I was saying to the boys, I'm like, I want a bike. I want to do the bikes in India. Like, it looks so fun. So I hope they bring it out for us.
Yeah, I talked to Boz yesterday and he wouldn't swing which way. I asked him if individuals were gonna do it, and he basically said he pleads the 5th, but I'm sure more details will come out soon.
Trust, yeah.
Anything else specific that you've been training for and you would really like to see incorporated at the games this year?
Ooh, handstand push-ups for sure, for sure.
Ooh, like deficit,
No,
freestanding, what are we talking about here?
just handed up. I feel I'd like to do something like that. Strict, just normal strict, or yeah, just kipping. That'll be fun.
How difficult is it on the field though when every year they have some kind of new element that nobody has known about? Athletes don't really have an opportunity to practice it besides right in the warm up beforehand. Like, what goes on as you're trying to figure that out? How much athleticism does that take?
Yeah, well, they're talking about all this press to handstand sort of stuff, and everyone's doing it on the parallel. So yeah, I mean, when something new comes out, I suppose it's always going to be hard if you haven't been doing it. But yeah, we were speaking about this the other day too. Like you gotta you gotta maximize your points. You know, you gotta stay dialed in and do the best you can.
Yes, you can. Okay. What, a couple more days left. What's the last thing that you want to let people know that they're going to expect to see Jay on the floor with?
Oh, hopefully a good show.
It's always gonna be a good show. You're gonna be under the lights in the Coliseum.
Yeah,
Mom and dad are gonna be there
yeah,
screaming your name.
that's it. That's it. No, it's gonna be awesome. I can't wait.
Awesome. Well, we can't wait to see you there. Jay, thank you so much. Safe travels from LA to Madison. Enjoy some days off, and we'll see you on the competition floor.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.